Pretty full of himself and might be one of the most, one of the nastiest people you ever likely run across. Hopefully Caprice Coleman realizes what he's got his hands full with Jeremy Lopez this week on Wildside.
Well, Lopez, a student of the Malenko Dojo. That's no secret. His trip to Japan, he's a skilled technician for sure. He's become very bitter over the last few weeks in Wildside. There's the fact they're not respecting him. Here, the fans not respecting Lopez as that technical competitor, as that athlete, as that competitor that competes in Japan and graduate of the Malenko Dojo. They hate Jeremy Lopez, and I can't figure out for the life of me why. Well, yeah, I can. And Caprice Coleman here in the ring, the show-stopping, crowd-popping, body-rocking, yada, yada, yada. He's been in a very violent feud with the usual suspects. They put him out of action for a couple of weeks here. Blackout and the new Havoc, the newest member, along with New Jack, the usual suspect, has just been, they've been on a tear here. The body count continually rising every week. Caprice Coleman was a victim of that. But last week, he cost the usual suspects a victory when he got involved in that matchup, that six-man tag involving New Jack, Blackout, Total Destruction, and Tank.
Suffice to say, that is true. However, Caprice Coleman is a pro wrestler first and foremost, even if he does seem to rewrite the whole industry of professional wrestling every time that bell rings. And around Blackout and Havoc, I mean, it's literally more than street brawling, it's street thuggery, if that's a word. I guess that's a word. And Caprice Coleman wants to show off his wrestling smarts. That's what he loves to do. That's why he's the crowd popping, yada, 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 as you put it out. Blackout seems to be stilting him on his rise to the top, and he takes that to great offense. And an opponent of Jeremy Lopez, who is utterly full of wrestling, all kinds of wrestling, I think it's an opportunity that Caprice Coleman is looking forward to, maybe even more than Jeremy Lopez.
Well, poor Coleman, he has not been able to set his sight on championship, has not been able to set his sight on success because he's been embroiled in this feud for so long with Blackout and the usual suspects, his former compadres, three-quarter Nelson. Coleman showing Jeremy Lopez he can take it to the mat as well.
Trying to wrap up Jeremy Lopez into a small package, and that's not a height joke on young Mr. Lopez. Caprice Coleman laughing at the expense of Mr. Lopez, and Jeremy is none too excited over that prospect.
Coleman has Lopez here. What the hell is this going to be?
Well, Speedy Nelson told Coleman to break the hold, and he did. And Lopez landed right on his face. I guess that's a face.
You said it many times before. Caprice Coleman, been your favorite competitor in Wildside to watch, and he's certainly one of the most athletically gifted competitors and charismatic guys we've ever seen here in Wildside. And be a great win here for Coleman to defeat Jeremy Lopez. Lopez has his A game on tonight. Big drop kick by Caprice Coleman.
Lopez has had his hands full with Caprice Coleman. Coleman is just ecstatic. He's in fits of giggles in the middle of the ring. I hope he's not going to come back and bite young Mr. Coleman on the butt.
Everyone's having a laugh at the expense of Lopez. I have a feeling his high school career was much like that.
Yeah, that was just last week.
Maybe that's why he's so bitter.
Maybe that's why he's so tall. Okay. Lopez taking the neck of Caprice Coleman, draping it over that top rope. And that could be the end that Lopez has been looking for from the get-go.
Lopez hooking Coleman there. I've heard of a suplex brainbuster, actually.
Big hello to all the Wildside Seminole fans in Tallahassee, watching us every week on WAB, Channel 17, every Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Hello, Tallahassee. Spend some time down there.
Lopez has been a double underhook. He's got it. Double underhook suplex, beautifully executed.
Not enough to pin Ice Coleman. Crowd getting on the case of Lopez that they have since the very first time he set foot in this building. Even before anybody had a chance. Oh my goodness! Coleman landed head first onto that bottom rope, which I'm sure caused even more damage than that drop kick from Jerlo.
That concerns me very much because he actually had some neck damage when he was attacked by the usual suspects.
I think he may have got some more. Perhaps Lopez will use his opportunity to zoom in on the neck of Caprice Coleman. Be a good strategy.
And Coleman, I've spoken with him. Oh, Harlan! I've spoken with Coleman on many separate occasions involving the usual suspects and what they're doing to him. And all he did by getting away from the usual suspects is he wanted to bring himself to a higher level. All he wanted to do was take himself out of the ghetto, so to speak, and he wanted to make something out of himself. And the usual suspects, they didn't want to have any of that. They didn't want to see Caprice Coleman succeed. It was all or none for the usual suspects, and when they turned his back on him, you would think it signed his death warrant if it was anybody else. But Caprice Coleman proving that not him.
Coleman is not going to be jerked around by the team of Blackout. No siree. And this week, Jeremy Lopez is bringing Caprice Coleman up to the game that he brings every week here at Wildside. And this is one of the most exciting matches, I think, in recent days. I'm sure pure wrestling we've seen here at the NCW Arena.
There's the Thriller in Cornelia. And finally connects. Wait a minute, Lopez has Coleman here. Snake eyes on the top turnbuckle. Oh, the back suplex.
Incredible how Jeremy Lopez is taking a lot of what you say, the old school moves of professional wrestling, turning them into his advantage, but taking them to the new millennium version of that as well. He's just combining the best of the old and the new. And I think that's successfully throwing Caprice Coleman off his game plan this evening. The Jeremy Lopez fan club has not been increased too much here tonight, I believe.
Running the rampant, the little Jerlows.
Low drop kick, a Jerlow drop kick, you might say, to the back of the head of Caprice Coleman. Hopefully sometime in this edition of NWA Wildside, because I saw Rick Michaels walking around the parking lot. Maybe if he could be persuaded to come to the middle of the ring, which I'm sure he probably could, maybe we can get some of the lowdown on what the hell is going on.
Oh, I would love to find out what's in that asswipe's mind.
Asswipe, oh.
Hey, he's an asswipe. I can say worse, but we get moved to 4 in the morning.
That's old school term, asswipe, I like that.
Kick to the face, Coleman up and over. Reverse sit-up face slam by Caprice Ice Coleman.
Jeremy Lopez in a pinning predicament. What will it take to pin Jeremy Lopez? I don't believe Caprice Coleman has been getting any VTRs of Jeremy Lopez's Osaka Pro match. Let's come to think of it. I don't think Lopez has either.
He's been bugging me for so. Beautiful exchange of pinfalls there.
It's a pinfall clinic. Unbelievable. One counter after another. I haven't seen referee Speedy Nelson work this hard. I've never seen Speedy Nelson work this hard.
Both men down now. Speedy Nelson issuing the 10 count. Both of these superstars will be in action when Wildside makes his Metro Atlanta debut at the Globe Theater, downtown Atlanta, Saturday night, September the 29th. If you're watching us, continue to watch us on the AT&T Broadband Cable Channel 25 in DeKalb County. Going for the elevated DDT. Almost shock.
Out of nowhere, which is precisely the way Caprice Coleman likes it. That's not enough for young Mr. Coleman. He's up on the top rope. A leg drop of massive proportions, and he pins Jeremy Lopez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Caprice Ice Coleman.
Two competitors quite obviously at the top of the game.